So just to introduce briefly, Jose Luis, what we have here is an economist with a strong background in the financial and recycling sectors. He's a senior executive director at Jose Luis Jareño Sociedad Anónima in Spain. Jose Luis has been at the forefront of the recycling industry since 2008. And I'm not going to be shy to say that he has been pioneer in sustainability and innovation in the recycling industry. And we are delighted to have him here today with us. Thank you, Luis, for being available. And he will be talking about the ferrous scrap recycling in Spain.
We are a recycling and waste management company with extensive experience in the sector. We have always up to continuous improvement and innovation in our process and management. We have a team of nearly 100 people with experience, knowledge, and specific qualification. We own means and equipment with machinery specialized in valorization process. Don't worry. We have the machinery. We have 3 scrap metal shelves, 2 copper wire mills, scrap baler we have 4, and finally, in this moment we are putting on the shredder, a big one, machinery. And on the other side, we have on fleet of vehicles, container on-site collection, and mobile car presses. This is the big explanation of the Jose Jareño structure. We offer our customers and suppliers transportation, management, and recovery waste. We offer transportation, management, and recovery waste. We sell ferrous and non-ferrous scrap. Nowadays, we are introducing the waste management of electrical and electronic devices. The discontamination of vehicle of use nowadays is normal here. Management of hazardous waste such as batteries, oils, contaminated packaging, absorbents, so on. You can move the next one, Blanca.
Yes.
Okay. In this moment, I explain more or less the way what we can do here in Jose Jareño. But for example, today I arrived a bit late because today we have took 2 demolitions. One marble factory in Alicante. We are in Valencia. I don't know if you know where Jose Jareño is in Valencia, but we work around Spain. And today we have to take 2 business, one in demolition in a factory of marble in Alicante, and the other it's a farm. It was burning 15 days, a farm of hens of eggs, and one of our works to do demolition. Okay, we buy scrap, ferrous scrap, and no ferrous scrap on the factories. They produce material for the vehicles, new vehicles. Like here in Valencia is the Ford company, and many of them work to them. And nowadays, Volkswagen company is preparing a big one for batteries. Then we work for all of them to pick up the waste, to the scrap. Okay, that is the more or less what is doing here in Valencia, José Jareño. We, on the other side, we buy all of crabs. We have big deals with around Spain, Ireland, Madrid, south of Spain, north of Spain. We buy scrap around all of Spain to go to the EAF, okay, to sell the non-ferrous scrap. Also, we manage a lot of the copper to around all over Spain. Now I can carry on explaining the. You have moved the page. You can come back to. Wait a moment. No, one more, please. Okay. Ferrous scrap recycling in Spain. I want to speak we can speak about the tree, and we are going to speak about the forest, the scrap in Spain. Ferrous scrap recycling in Spain. My job, I like it. I like to work in scraps. Is mass mastering and spellbinding. Okay, mass mastering. Okay, you have to work. I get up in Madrid. I come back here. Yesterday I eat in Valladolid. I wake up in Salamanca. The day before I was in Cáceres, a small village, to see our suppliers. And then I explain what I do. Sunday evening, normally I organize my week schedule, but nevertheless, every single day the schedule could change. No, it changed. It changed. No, we have to speak with national customers. To normally to buy a scrap, you have to be you have to have the price of the sale after you buy. You don't buy, you don't have the price to sell. We have to speak with the national customer after the national supplier to buy, check the equipment and machinery, analyze competitor, solve logistics problems. Every moment, in this moment, I have a phone call with a problem. I am with speaking how here, and after I will solve the problem, and so on. You can change the page, please. What happened? Every day, what happened? Price changing. I came from Madrid this morning. In this trip, I found to ask better prices changing. Supplier looking for solution because they have problem with the machinery. Somebody else has broken the share and is looking for the Avala. That logistics matter. I have many problems in the south of Spain. I have looked for the lorries. Mill restriction. Sometimes the EAF, the mills, they don't vote the scrap because they don't have, they don't sell whatever they want. Another thing is the competitive movements. I don't work with all the EAF in Spain, all the mills in Spain. I work with several, but not all of them. And then the competitors change the prices. I have to follow the market. I have to ask to my customers to ask the better prices. Machinery doesn't work. Every day it's broken, the machinery. Every day. Every single day it's broken. Okay, you must looking for the new suppliers because the market is always changing. You need to look for the new suppliers. You can. Okay, thanks, Jim. One problem in in the market, in the non-ferrous scrap and ferrous scrap, is the reputation. We don't have a good reputation, but it's changing. One example of this is the LME, the London Metal Exchange. This you can see in Google. You can ask everybody can ask a London Metal Exchange the prices of the metals or scrap, ferrous and non-ferrous scrap, copper and so on. Is intended as a primer for those who want to develop their understanding of how commodities and metal market work. It's very interesting, the LME. That is for our reputation, okay? And the other side, we have here to speak about type of steel scrap. No, not too much complicated, the type of the steel scrap. All steel scrap, new steel scrap from factories to produce cars and so on. Heavy scrap steel, shredded steel scrap, steel savings. Here, the type of steel scrap is easy. The problem is the person who manages the scrap, okay? The problem is the customer and supplier, the person, not the scrap. Okay, nowadays we are speaking about the figures of the steel in Spain. The steel production in Spain is stable or decreasing. Nowadays, is more usually the work with the steel usually is in countries as Asia or more or less Asia, better than Europe. The steel production in Spain is stable or decreasing because the production is cyclic. If we compare the production of 2013 and 2021, they are similar. However, between 2013 and 2022, there is a decrease of 20%. Carry on. Okay. Here in the TSH table, worldwide production, Spanish steel production between 2013 and 2022, it had decreased. After we can see the map of Spain, we can see the mill was working now. The worldwide figures are changing. They are growing. In the years, the growth has been of 12%. The rise appears in Asian countries such as India, Malaysia, Indonesia, and so on. Okay, that is the change from Europe to Asia, the production. Okay, as other markets, China is the head of the national the market. China is the move it. On the other hand, the Spanish market for recycling had experienced a significant shift in production of electric arc furnace. Electric arc furnace was introduced in Spain more or less 60 years ago. Nowadays, the technology is working properly. The number of mills in Spain is decreasing. In 2018, there were 21 operational electric furnaces. Nowadays, only 15. If you check the two maps from 18 to 23, we can see that in the middle of the Spain disappeared the mills. Only one in Madrid. 5 years ago was 2. Maybe in 3 years in Madrid disappeared the mills. Always looking for both markets, national and international market. You cannot sell from Madrid to the international market. Okay, Carry on. Okay, we have a good luck, Blanca, because today we are putting in Avilés, Arcelor is putting the first stone to build a new EAF. Because in Spain we have only 2 blast furnaces. They belong to Arcelor. Although they are restructuring, Arcelor is building a new EAF, and today they put the first stone. We are the owner of the company and so on there. The mayor of the Avilés and for the picture, using green hydrogen to work. Okay, and then it will shape the future landscape is changing. Okay, the blast furnace is going to Asia, and in Europe always we are using the EAF, electric arc furnace. That is very important for the environment. Spain has a negative balance in scrap. We need to import scrap by bulk ships. Okay, in Spain we don't have enough scrap. We have to buy scrap north of Europe or USA, more or less, or South America. Okay, we buy the bulk ships. Probably Spanish scrap price have an interrelationship with Turkey. Okay, Spain is a small country to produce the steel. Spain depends the Turkish price. Turkey has built the biggest cluster to produce Riba in the world. Furthermore, this is also a relationship between scrap and come back. The prices of the scrap it's the same price of the Riba prices. Change is always going in the same way. Turkey have maybe 100 mills or EAF in between the Europe part to the Asian part, the Hatay province. Hatay province is close to Syria, and they produce the prices. We're speaking about the prices of the scrap is always speaking about the Hatay prices, the relationship. The main question is what will move the Turkish scrap price? What put in Turkish scrap price? Because the scrap price nowadays, maybe China is who manage the prices of Turkey. Okay. I think
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. No, thank you very much, José Luis, for your presentation.